Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Richie from Boston, and I am still getting my truck repaired. I'm in their break room using my GlocalMe to get a Wi-Fi signal right now. But while I was looking on the internet, I found this, and then coincidentally enough, I got a text. So I'm going to pass this information on to you. Apparently, the entire state of Texas was hacked and is being held ransom. That's insane, right? That is totally, completely insane, but it's normal. And then over here at Wired, I find out that Capital One, a bank, the place where you keep your money, was also hacked, except for a massive data breach just a few months before exposing personal and financial data. Well, I got a text today which freaks me out, but I'm going to pass it on to you. Virtual Shield has backed up my YouTube channel when many others wouldn't, and I use it because right now you do not want people knowing where you are going on the internet. You need a VPN. This is the one I use. It's completely free for 30 days and you really have nothing to lose. And if you order today or tomorrow, they give you an additional 20% off. Links will be in the description below. I use it. I never used them before, but I have to use one now because domestic terrorism. Do you see what I'm saying? You don't want people knowing where you are going on the internet anymore. And this helps keep it private. It's super easy to use. I showed you how to do the setup on it. No big deal. So check this out. This is just like a little bit of an update and a kind of an opinion on my end. These guys are doing the same thing they do with every big storm. It's the exact same storm path. It's the exact same affected area up here. And they're calling for feet and feet of rain. Now, you guys may or may not know, but way back in the day, I don't even know when it was, but a rain bomb hit in West Virginia. And myself, B. Rich, and a couple of other YouTube channels, we got together and went down there and helped them, and it was off the hook. And we went down there and helped these people out, and it was amazing because when we got there, FEMA and the National Guard were just cruising around. Red Cross was handing out hot dogs and beans to people, but nobody was doing anything. The YouTube channels, we combined our resources and our strength, and we cleaned up an entire library that was completely destroyed. FEMA was walking around handing out checks for $33,000, and I believe 13 people died. And of course, they blamed it on climate change. Climate change. That's what these people are doing. And everybody's under the impression that it's the High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program, or HAARP. And we talked about HAARP. We actually harped on HAARP for a long time. You get it? That's a little joke. It's a pun. It's a little levity. Do you see what I'm saying? But this isn't what they need anymore. Everyone's under the impression this thing is completely shut down. Well, they don't need that because they have the good old-fashioned Doppler radar. They're all over the country. And I believe it was Ron Johnson that first caught this. During a storm, we were watching all these Doppler radar outposts igniting at one time and literally pushing the storm in a different direction. These are mini HAARP type units. Do you see what I'm saying? Which is why all of us covered this particular PDF so much. Owning the weather by 2025, well, it's 2019. They're already ahead of the curve. Do you see what I'm saying? But this is the ultimate weapon to use against people because most people completely and totally buy in to the climate change scenario when they don't seem to have a problem with this whatsoever at all. This old PDF that's already being debunked when you look it up on Google search. Do you see what I'm saying? And the fact that these guys came out 2 years ago doesn't seem to bother anybody at all. Harvard came out because they knew they were going to step up their efforts exponentially, spraying the sky. And that's exactly what they're doing. But I think that this hurricane that they're hyping, just like they hype everything else, is simply a diversion to keep people's eyes off of things like Epstein and things like Robert Mueller, the FBI being investigated, etc., which is why they float things like this. Do you know what I'm saying? This was totally bogus right here. Complete bullshit. People were under the impression that Donald Trump shut down chemtrailing. Well, let me tell you what. I've got miles and miles and miles of footage from the East Coast to the West Coast and they are destroying it. When you drive into Colorado, every single year you come to Colorado, the Rocky Mountains are more and more difficult to see. It's going to be pretty bad when all of us are going to be wearing a suit like this very soon. And yes, that is actually me. FYI. They're using these against us, and people don't seem to care. They came out and told us. They're using them in ads. They flaunt it everywhere. It's in movies. It's in television shows. It's all over the place. And, I mean, when Harvard came out, I thought it was like my aha moment. I thought we had them. And they simply used the information against us, and they used the fact that they have dumbed down society with fluoridation, medication, and every other thing, genetically modified foods, everything. People don't seem to care, and it's working, and they're doing it. When Harvard came out and said they were going to start spraying the skies, they made this feel-good movie with an animated Earth, of course, again. They put this handsome, scientific-looking guy here, and they showed all these areas. Look at this smog. Look at these buildings. Look at these coal refineries. Look at these nuclear power plants that are allegedly spraying steam into the sky. We've got to figure out an answer right away, or everybody's going to die. And they keep it up with the feel-good music, and they show all the crap, and blah, blah, blah. And meanwhile, it goes on and on and on. Table 1, first page of Owning the Weather by 2025 is precipitation enhancement, degrade enemy forces. Well, that would be us. Deny operations. When they cause a storm, you have to basically do whatever the government or FEMA tells you what to do. They can deny fresh water and induce drought. You think California and parts of Colorado haven't been seeing that? Disrupt communications. Deny concealment. Increase vulnerability. It's just unbelievable that these guys that make war based on bullshit came up with this and released it. And to this day, this PDF is still available. I urge all of you to download this and share it. Or don't. But we're running out of time, in my opinion. And most of you can feel it in your bones. Richie from Boston, I'm out.